Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Friday morning, wrapping up a good week on our show. We've had some really good guests, good videos. On yesterday's guest, Chancey and Morgan, I just enjoy them so much and what they're doing, what they do, such good things, and they continue to do it. And I didn't know until after the show we were talking. They didn't know each other were up there. They actually sort of ran into each other while up there. So that made it even more special because they just kept. They were feeding off each other, helping each other out. So what a special story of local people, doing good things. So I know a lot of y'all did that, volunteered and gave a lot to that. So good stuff. Let's move on with our weather. Listen, high today is going to be 76 and low is going to be 56. Water temperature at the end of the pier is 79. It dropped a half a degree last night, so 79 degrees at the end of the pier. And our river reading is brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. The Apalachicola River at Bluntstown is a reading of 5.3, and it's still got a drop to it. But the Choctaw is not dropping. It's real steady at a 2.8 this morning at Caryville. Okay, moving on to our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong incoming tide today and tomorrow. The actual low tide is this morning at 6:07, and then it'll be coming in at 9:25 tonight. Really strong incoming tide. The fish and game forecast brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers at Port St. Joe, 12:07 to 2:07 this morning, and then after lunch when our tide is coming in strong, 12:35 to 2:35. And the wind continues to be in that seasonally direction of the wintertime, north-northeast at 5 to 10. So it's going to be a good day, a good weekend, looks like, to get outdoors. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I was talking about the Panama City Beach Fishing Rodeo. I didn't quite get to finish. Just looking on that last chart I showing, I just wanted to, this was in a private sector, or land-based and all. That land-based division of king mackerel, 17 pounds, and you see different ones, different sizes and all. So these are just different individuals. And I'm so proud of this Panama City Beach Fishing Rodeo. And they ended up, listen, they had a big old Sunday night at the weigh-in, a big old fireworks display at Captain Anderson's Marina for all the folks there at the awards banquet. What it really wasn't a banquet, just an awards party, giving out stuff. So good job, Panama City Beach Fishing Rodeo. Thank you to all the sponsors, and that's going to grow and grow. Okay, moving on. Folks, there's some people confused on this. Make sure everybody understands we want to vote yes on Amendment 2 to preserve the fishing and hunting in Florida for the future. Yes. There's a lot of no's on a lot of those amendments, but this one will be a yes. Most amendments will be no, but this one will be a yes. Billy Archer, this is a great story here. Basically, he anchored up during the hurricane, and he had 4 anchors out and only got 3. Couldn't get but 3 back, but it was a great story of how we got them all back. I'm gonna maybe get Billy on to tell the story how he got that 4th anchor back. Those anchors cost $1,500 a piece, and he went back out there with some of his young men, and they drove down into the intercoastal. Okay, coming up, the Sunflower Festival, and this is going to be this weekend. Let's see, what's the date on that? October 19th, which is tomorrow. That's why I want to put it up. In Vernon, the Sunflower Festival, outdoorsman, and that's the gates open at 12, and all kind of food trucks and that. Moving along. This was some good stuff here. This guy, this is a video, and I'm going to come back and show it. The guy actually fishes with a wrench and caught a fish. Our girl, Natalie Noel Estes, has been on the show before. She and her family fished a tournament. She just has this passion for fishing. She fished by herself, and she caught 6. Good job, Natalie. You and the kids to come on the show soon. Look at her. I love it. Okay, another coming up, this is tomorrow also, the Sunflower. Okay, this is another poster of the same thing, but they have different singers and all, Kate Watson and Curtis Williams. So looks like a lot of fun up in Vernon. And this is the games and prizes, so get a chance to go. Nat Harris sent this to me. I've heard some big reports on red grouper. I caught this red grouper Sunday, but released it because out of season. Had a great time bringing it in. Red groupers are everywhere. We changed location trying to get away from them, but to no avail. And here it is right there. Is that not a fine red grouper? And look how calm the water was back, this was last Sunday. And I heard 2 or 3 reports talking about the red grouper. Okay, coming up over in Port St. Joe, Thursday, October 24th, which is this coming Thursday, the 6th annual Forgotten Coast chapter banquet. And they do a good job with that. I've been to it before, and it's good stuff to get a chance to go. My cousin and I caught a few from the dock. Dock fishing was good. It's on Panama City fishing page. The speckled trout have been, the last week or so, I'm going to cover it in the fishing report. It's been really good. Okay, and then this is a public service announcement from Panhandle Outdoors. Don't forget to buy your Halloween candy early so you can have time to buy more after you eat it all. Again, there's truth in all these things I'll show you. One of my former students, Chris Morris and Jerry Morris and all them, I love this because they took the family fishing. This was yesterday. They're fishing off, that's a Deer Point Lake to the right, that's Deer Point Dam, and they're on the saltwater side. There was real brackish water. You got a whole family out there. I got a kick out of these pictures, and they're fishing and having a good time. A couple of generations there. He's happy with Grandpa and all. So good job, Jerry Morris, for getting those. Okay. Eddie sent me this picture. Coach, look at this big cat that I got on my camera. Can you tell me what kind of cat it is? So I looked at it and I told, that looks like a bobcat. It's right there early in the morning up there on the farm. Eddie White up there in the Bonifay area. Coming up, so you might want to, this is going to be October 28th. This guy's going to be talking on the history of fishing and boat building. This is from the News Herald. The Historical Society of Bay County has more events coming up as part of its educational and entertaining series. And it's going to be, their upcoming program is titled 100 Years of Fishing and Boat Building, and Winston Chester will host the program. So it goes on and talks about me, but that's not what it's about. So anyway, I was going to tell you about what's coming up. October 28th, they invited me. I want to invite you all there. I've already had several people commit to it that don't normally go. The Bay County Historical Society, and I'll be doing like a little PowerPoint, basically on my book. We have a lot of people that moved in, and a lot of the older people want to hear it again. But it's been a while since I've done it, and I didn't volunteer to do it, but they asked me to do it, and I certainly look forward to having it on. And I'll talk more about it, but thank you for the Historical Society for keeping our history alive. Okay, we're going to take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, we always try to announce things like these festivals, and mainly centered around outdoors. Anytime you have something going on, send it to us, and we'll certainly try to get the word out to everyone. And this is sort of about a month away, really exactly a month away. This is interesting now, what we call a tower shoot. Pheasant, and on November 16th, it's going to be up there at the Four Feathers place. We'll talk more about it, but it's great. If you've been on one of these, they're really a lot of fun. They only have 24 shooters coming on, and we'll talk more about it. That's right there in the Calhoun County area. Now, you know, this time of year, I just love mullet, catching mullet and eating fresh fried mullet. But I think really the icing on the cake is a red roe mullet. And I was thinking, for some reason, I just think about yesterday, I guess the weather cooling off, about that red roe. And the old timers call it red roe, and I just, we ate it as a kid, and I still love it. I'm about the only one in my family that eats it now, but I do love it. So I started thinking about it. I'm going to look it up and just see if I find some pictures, because I don't have it right now. So real quick, I just go through and just, this is a big healthy mullet right here. But prepared them and all, I don't get them that big. But anyway, this is when you cook them up and everything with mullet. This is mullet and roe deep fried. That's an old school eating mullet. I know y'all enjoy that. But listen, I ran across some of course, we know it's eggs. It's really caviar. And it's for sale. You can find everything for sale online. And they call it dried mullet roe wild caught and cured in the USA. So this is our mullet. It's $29, and I guess it's $29 for those two. And then I found another online, same thing. These are $45. So when you go out and catch your mullet, all you folks, you're catching a bargain. I had to look up the health aspect, and basically fish eggs are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and whatever those words are. Anyway, it's essential for brain and heart health, and we need that brain health and heart health. It reduces inflammation, and it converts energy into vitamin B12. So I laugh at it. You can always justify the fishing, and honey, I need to go catch some food for the family, and I need to go hunt for food for the family. So I get a kick out of doing that. Okay, now, FWC announcement. We always keep you posted on what FWC is doing. And guess what? Stone crab season started actually a couple days ago, but we just got this. Stone crab season starts October 15th, and it will go all the way through May 1st. And the claw size, and this is a good diagram here. When you do the claw, when you measure it, you go from that section, that joint right there, to the tip of the shortest part of the claw. Okay, so that's important. To me, I thought you go to, when you measure fish, you go to the length, the end of it. So anyway, that's interesting. I know some of y'all do these stone crabs, and this is a trap, and you got to have certain ramifications of not having a trap as a ticket. So having a correct trap. So anyway, it tells you all the different sizes, and I've got one thing, you always got to have that escape route right there. It's got to be 2 3/16 inches minimum, and you got to have it registered. So anyway, that's stuff on the stone crab from the FWC. Okay, and let me see what else I've got. We've talked about hiking this time of the year in Terrell State Park. There's some really good places to go up there in Terrell State Park. They have 3 or 4 trails, and I'll try to get some information on it next week. I was looking at it last night because, again, weather change, you think about doing different things. So next week, I'm going over the best trails in Terrell State Park. There's 3. In fact, I looked. There are actually 4 of them. I got tickled at. Now, back then, we used to just go. One of them is a moderate trail, 6.7 miles, and one of them, okay, the challenge is 4.4, and they said that's a 12.5 miles, and then the one from the Gregory House that you just go down, that's a moderate, and then the Weeping. There are 4 different ones, 4 different trails up there. They've done a good job over the years, and they've got them located at different places. So the challenge trail, I looked it up, and you see why it's such a challenge. You go through from place to place. You're going from the beginning up and down the cliff, down to the river and back. So that's going to be really good. So anyway, I have a situation here where the picture here. It's all kind of cool trails. And one thing I want to real quick, we had that Python challenge, and I got the results in the October issue of Woods and Water. And the biggest thing on the Python, they didn't really, it wasn't anything to write home about. Here's the article here, okay? Florida Python Challenge results from winners and announced here. So here's the article, and I read through it. By the bottom line, I went to the actual results. And the grand prize won $10,000, and he caught 20 pythons, 20. And then that's an amateur like us. And then on the professional division, they only got 2,500. It was a girl, Donna. She caught 19. And novice, I think that's a young person. You see, they caught 16, and there's just different numbers they caught, 7, 19, 7, 16. The longest python by a professional was 8 feet and 11 inches. That's right at 9 feet. The longest python, the novice got a bigger one than that, 9 feet, 11 inches. That's 10 feet long. Okay, so anyway, that was the results there on the Python Challenge. Okay, so that takes care of all the information I want to share with you today. I've got a fishing forecast coming up. Each Friday we try to do a Friday fishing forecast and our Tarpon Dock seafood giveaway. Well, last Friday we had a guest and we didn't get to do it, so we'll get back on schedule today. the fishing report, I've got a lot of good stuff on it, so we're going to leave a little bit early. Okay, here we go. Tropic Rock Seafood to give away. The $20 gift certificate goes to Joan Smith and the Big Red Snapper. It'll be going to all the way from Santa Rosa Beach, Frank Borges. All right, Frank. Frank gives a lot of feedback on Panhandle Outdoors. So we got some good stuff coming up. So let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us all week long. I had some good feedback from y'all. We appreciate the viewership, and it's been fun doing this week. I enjoy this very much, and thank y'all for all the support you've given us. Let's get ready with our Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Jessica Ling Insurance and Financial Group, and also Matt Andrews at Hammer Down Construction, two young people who've started their businesses and worked really hard at it. And I just appreciate them being part of our team here at Panhandle Outdoors. And if we have a couple of spots open, if you have anybody that wants to help sponsor Panhandle Outdoors, we'll certainly talk to them, and we appreciate it. So that's what keeps us on the air, our sponsors. Now, I spent a lot of time, for some reason last night, I just really got into this fishing report, and Choctaw River was just, I guess, with it going down like that after that big flood and all, it's doing real well. Here's what's going on in Choctaw River. The shell cracker bite has been good. A guy reported he caught 10 in like an hour and a half. Nice shell cracker. I saw the picture. The mullet, we're talking about it every year this time. That guy went in the middle of the day when it had some food out there, caught 18. So the catfishing, the mullet, and the catfish has been good over there. And I got tickled. A group of them got on, started chatting back and forth. What's the best soap bait for putting on your hooks for catfishing on the trot lines? And when I was little, my dad would put ivory soap on there, and I just didn't understand it as a kid. Well, most of the answers on last night's forum that I was reading was ivory soap. And it's amazing how that's gone through a couple of generations. So keep that in mind. You don't have to spend a lot of money on bait, and that soap stays on there. So I don't know how it works, but it does work. Highway 90, we're talking about, going on the Choctaw River. The great thing about the river, if you go from Highway 90, okay, I probably can't put it all up here, Highway 90, which is close to Interstate 10, all the way down to Highway 20, which is right in this area right here, you'll have, okay, here's Ebro. So anyway, you'll have, that's about, I was reading some things, I've been on it before, from Highway 90 to Highway 20, we have about 40 miles of wilderness, just a really good river bottom, and that's just a good way to go. Okay, and then Choctaw Bay, getting back to the bay, the redfish did really good in Choctaw Bay, and also the Spanish, they were caught some Spanish early part of the week. Move on to St. Andrew Bay. I really want to go to Callaway Bayou. They were caught, Callaway Bayou had a school of reds came into Callaway Bayou, and it was, they had a time catching right here. Here's Callaway Bayou. And I've caught right here in the center of the screen, right on that point is an excellent place. And I know what happened. Those school of reds that come in there, and sometimes they'll chase the bait fish right on up there in the bayou. And right there, from my understanding, they caught them right in here in the center of the screen. But this is a good, I don't talk about this area a lot because I don't want to let everybody know about it, but right here in the middle of the screen, the whole area there, when the redfish are moving, that's a great place to catch them. Let's talk real quick about what was caught this past week in a tournament. Here, talking about different things being caught. Okay, in a tournament they had last week, a shark, 285 pounds, king mackerel, 18 pounds, amberjack, 71 pounds, wahoo, 31 pounds, Spanish, 4 pounds, triggerfish, 6.5 pounds, mahi, 8 pounds, trout, 3 pounds, flounder, and all that was caught in a tournament. So all those, what I'm saying, all those fish are out there in this area, and you just got to go out there and get them. But what a great variety of fish they caught in that area. Let's move on down quicker down to St. Joe Bay. I haven't got, now East Bay, like I said, East Bay's been good, but St. Joe Bay, I haven't got a lot of reports, to be honest with you, from that area, but I do know up here in this area right in here, the guides will be fishing that area right there, and also moving on down to the Cape, up around Black's Island, there'll be some good. Now you want to use, if you get a chance to use live bait, you certainly want to use some live bait this time of year. Okay, moving on down to Apalachicola Bay. The big, if you get a chance to, of course, I always automatically go into Carabel. I don't know why, but I automatically go to Carabel. But after Escola Bay, the whole area is going to be right in here. Again, I always talk about the bridge fishing. Bridge fishing is going to be really good off the East Point Bridge. Any bridge fishing this time of year, you're going to start getting cool weather. You're going to have sheephead, and you're going to have drum coming in. So we talk about that area. On the backside of St. George Island, I always, that's some excellent fishing. A lot of folks don't get in that area too much. It's hard to wade because it's muddy, and you got to put your boat in and work it. But also, come back down. I don't usually go west I go from Bob Sykes Cut, and I fish these docks. See these docks right here? These docks are excellent fishing this time of the year. The redfish are hanging around there big time. And look how many docks. Is that amazing, the number of docks in that area? You just have some great fishing, and it's sort of a secret place. A lot of locals go there. And then the Cedar Point area, right in there. Right there, cold weather, you're going to get some mullet coming up in there. So anyway, so that's going to be some excellent fishing at St. George Island. Quickly, let's talk about, close up, let's talk about surf fishing. And we're in prime time for surf fishing. We're talking about the water temperature has gone now under 80 degrees, and the migratory path has started. It's been over what we call in the west area of the Panhandle, and they will catch them there last week. I'm expecting to hear some really good reports this weekend and next week from Cape San Blas and St. George Island. It's going to be interesting to follow them and see what's going on with the pompano in those two areas. And people are talking about fishing all different things. And like I said, I don't do sand fleas anymore. I leave them natural, let them just grow and leave them alone, because I promise you the fish bites work just as good, if not better, than that right there. If you can't find anything, find some old dead shrimp and put them there. And you'll catch a little bit of everything. So great fishing this time of the year. So y'all get out there this weekend and give it a try. Got to wrap up for the week. Thank y'all so much for your support and watching our show. We appreciate it. Y'all do something good for someone else today. Have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.